Alright, my name is Nick Follet, and I'm a junior here at Covenant Christian High School. And today I'm going to be talking about the advancement in warfare technology and tactics. As a kid growing up, warfare really sparked my attention. I remember driving a 3-hour drive up to Michigan and begging my parents for $1 to go get some cat guns and go out and, with my brother and shoot out in the field. And it was the coolest thing in the world if I could get my cousin to go out there. He was an ex-Marine. And then finally at 13, I was able to convince my parents to give me a paintball gun. And then ever since then I've been paintballing and reading books and stuff like that. So today I'm going to talk about the advancement in warfare technology and tactics. I'm going to start out with a poem by Sniper Alpha. It's entitled Silent Sacrifice. I do not enjoy existing this way, hiding in the shadows from the light of the day. Unseen by those I see, yet felt by those I touch. I live in a world where war governs much. With my weapon in hand and many faces in my head, I look them in the eyes, those whose blood I'll shed. For I feel no pain, and I feel no hate for those whose lives I'm about to take. I'm the hand of God, I'm the dealer of fate. From a distance in the trees and the shadows I wait. With the round in the chamber and the bolt locked tight, I look them through the eyes of my telescopic sight. They do not see me, they have nothing to say to the sniper in the bushes 500 yards away. They live their life with no care in the world. They know nothing of the sniper rifle I hold. I touch the trigger and I say goodbye. The man in my sights is about to die. He crumbles like paper as the round hits his head. I feel no pain, no regrets to be said. I move on to the next. He falls just as fast. I aim for my targets. I make every round last. As the bodies pile up in the shadows, I disappear. My job is finished. My conscience remains clear. As a sniper with many faces burned in my mind, there's no joy in living this way. But for my brothers in arms, whose lives I hold dear, it is a sacrifice I'll rarely pay. Without my weapon, I'd not be here today. These advancements in technology have come a long way. From boomerangs and spears to sniper rifles and nuclear bombs. This battle keeps raging, and because of the new technology, we move on. Bear with me for a second. There we go. Alright, so in my speech today, I'm going to first define what the definition of warfare. After that, I'm going to talk about where war has been. I'm going to talk about where it is now and where it is headed. So what exactly is warfare? Warfare is the process of military struggle between two nations, peoples, groups, in which the elements of tactics, logistics, and organizational structures are used for the success of an expedition. Moving into my speech, the first era of warfare is the prehistoric warfare. Basically, this warfare is conducted before any written documentation of writing. It consisted of generally primitive tribal communities that often fought over ritual affairs and religious purposes. The weapons, they included the spears and clubs, which eventually turned into bows and maces and slings. The most important weapon they used was the bow. This was because they could stand off at a distance to shoot their enemy instead of having combat face-to-face and using melee weapons, because that was wasteful. They could die a lot easier. After the prehistoric warfare era came the ancient warfare. In ancient warfare, this was basically the beginning of the recorded history to the fall of the superpower of Rome. This era generally focused on Rome. They were a huge superpower. They were the first organized armies. They focused on a large number of infantry, keeping the same primitive weapons generally, the bow and the spears, although some of the new technology did come into play. The main advancement in this area was the chariot. It's like equivalent to the modern day tank. There it is right there. The thing about the chariot is you could stick two people on the back, one person with the bow and one person riding on it to drive. With the expansion of cities, it allowed for faster transportation, and also the new concept of siege came into play. Here's the catapult right here for sieges and stuff like that. It shot rocks and stones. After this was medieval warfare. This is from the fall of Rome in 476 all the way to 1500 AD. All warfare that took place was called the medieval ages. They had a new technique of infantry, cavalry technique. It was basically where They sent in the infantry first, and they knocked out the opposing army. And the cavalry then went in and rode them over on the horses. Siege warfare was the main thing they focused on. They had scaling ladders, battering rams, siege towers, catapults, ballista, and the trebuchet. Also, new castle protection techniques were also used. These included like the moats around the grid, around the castle. Inside the castle, they had holes where they could shoot arrows when they entered. They also had hot tar that they could pour on them. In this era, knights became a big factor. They were the higher class. They spent a lot of time training, and they were looked up to in society. Some of the weapons were the battle axe, the bow, the army sword, the crossbow, the claymore, the dagger, the flail, the great sword, the halberd, the warhammer, the pick, and the shield. After medieval ages, the gunpowder age came into play. This was the era where there was a lot of, where the gunpowder came into use, and also suitable weapons to use for explosives. They used the cannon for attacking castles. The earliest gun was found in China in 1288 AD. After the gunpowder age was the industrial warfare. This took place from anywhere between the beginning of the American Civil War to the Second World War. This area saw the most technological advances. It was the mass conscripted armies. They had rapid transportation from railroads to sea transportation, and then finally airplanes and stuff like that became popular. They had wireless forms of communications, and they had concept of total war. They saw the rise of the rifle breech loading massive amounts of fire, metal ships, submarines, aircraft, rockets, missiles, armored warfare, and also nuclear weapons. After the industrial warfare period, after World War II, came modern warfare. Actually, this is taken straight off the video game. So, yeah. So, in modern warfare, it included wars like Vietnam and anything up till now. So, the Iraq wars were modern. The modern warfares, there was asymmetric warfare, which is basically terrorism. Like 9/11 was asymmetric warfare. Biological warfare. Biological warfare was use of germ warfare. Nuclear warfare, any war which relies on nuclear weapons. There's chemical warfare, which is using chemical properties to kill, injure, or incapacitate an enemy. There's also a space warfare, which is any rocket shot outside Earth's orbit. There's the nuclear right there. All right, so now we're moving into the future. Future warfare, there's already been advancements that have been proposed and stuff. Some of the advancements are robotic warfare, new suits for soldiers, the Fire Scout UAV helicopter, and also ultrasonic weapons. Right here is the robot. These robots are currently being used. They can go out in the battlefield. They don't fight for you, but they go out and they can remove landmines and stuff like that. But they're continuing to improve them. Here's the new suits. These new suits are really cool. They're coming out in 2010. They have the helmet. It has the GPS receiver, radio and wide and local area network connections. It also can pan 360 degrees around their head. It can detect enemy soldiers up to a couple kilometers away. It also has a monitoring system in it. It monitors the heart rate, the blood pressure, and also so it can notify medics if the soldier goes down. The new technique it has is liquid body armor. It's a fluid lined inside the system, and when the bullet hits the suit, the electromagnetic field in it, when electric pulses applied, the armor transitions from a soft state to a rigid state in thousandths of a second. So it helps stop the bullet. The exoskeleton is made of lightweight composite devices that attach to the legs and augment the soldier's strength. Here's the UAV helicopter. This is really quite neat.